The cabin lights flickered, casting an eerie glow across the nearly empty airplane. It was Halloween night, and Flight 237 had been delayed for hours. Most passengers had been rerouted, leaving only a handful of us behind. I settled into my seat, grateful for the extra space but uneasy about the late-night journey ahead. As we took off into the darkness, an unsettling silence fell over the cabin. The usual hum of conversation was replaced by an oppressive quiet, broken only by the occasional whisper from the few scattered passengers. I tried to distract myself with my phone, but the dim blue light only seemed to heighten the sense of isolation. Suddenly, a flight attendant appeared at my side, her face partially hidden in shadow. "Sir, would you mind moving to sit with the other passengers?" she asked, her voice unnaturally calm. Confused but compliant, I gathered my belongings and made my way to the back of the plane. As I settled into my new seat, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The air felt thick and cold, and I could see my breath forming small clouds in front of me. The other passengers avoided eye contact, their faces etched with worry and fear. That's when I noticed it. A figure slumped in a seat near the front of the plane. At first, I thought it was just another passenger sleeping, but as my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I realized with horror that the person wasn't moving at all. Their skin was pale, almost translucent in the flickering light, and their head was tilted at an unnatural angle. My heart raced as I tried to make sense of what I was seeing. Was this some kind of sick Halloween prank? Or was there really a dead body strapped into one of the seats? Before I could process my thoughts, a loud banging sound echoed through the cabin. My eyes darted to the restroom door, which was shaking violently. The noise grew louder and more frantic, then suddenly stopped. The silence that followed was even more terrifying than the commotion. I found myself drawn to the restroom, my feet moving of their own accord. As I approached, I caught a glimpse of my reflection in the mirror. For a split second, it seemed distorted, almost inhuman. I blinked, and my normal face stared back at me, but the unease lingered. Turning away from the mirror, I nearly collided with the flight attendant. She stood unnaturally still in the aisle, her eyes fixed on me with an intensity that made my skin crawl. "Is everything all right, sir?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I opened my mouth to respond, but no words came out. My gaze was drawn back to the lifeless figure at the front of the plane. As I watched, paralyzed with fear, the corpse's head slowly turned towards me. Its eyes, milky white and unseeing, seemed to bore into my soul. The cabin lights flickered more intensely, bathing everything in an otherworldly blue and red glow. The air crackled with an energy I couldn't explain, and strange, glitch-like patterns danced across my vision. Was this real? Or had I somehow slipped into a nightmare? As ominous music began to build from nowhere and everywhere at once, I realized with growing horror that this flight was taking us somewhere far beyond our intended destination. The boundaries between life and death, reality and nightmare, seemed to blur with each passing moment. If you've ever experienced a flight from hell, trust me, it's nothing compared to the terror of Flight 237. Subscribe to hear more chilling tales from 30,000 feet. Like this video if you dare, and leave a comment sharing your own terrifying travel stories. But remember, some journeys are best left untaken, and some passengers, well, they should have stayed grounded.